Welcome again to the old principle. 我就是老校长. And we're going to look at another interesting story. In fact, if you go on to the internet, 你上网, you can see pictures of, and you will hear about this in the story, you will see pictures about number 195, it's about the ant and the contact lens. 这个一只蚂蚁 and the contact lens, 这个隐形眼镜. Now we see here a lady climbing a cliff. 她是爬一个悬崖. Okay? So we need to listen to the story. And after we listen to the story, we'll go into it very quickly.
Story 195, The Ant and the Contact Lens. Brenda had climbed almost halfway up a tremendously tall granite cliff. She stood on a ledge, taking a breather. This was her first rock climb, but as she rested, the safety rope snapped against her eye, knocking out her contact lens. No, she thought. I'm on a rock ledge hundreds of feet from the bottom and at least that far to the top, and now my sight is blurry. She scanned the rock ledge, but she couldn't find it, the contact lens. Panic rose in her throat. She prayed for calm and that God would lead her to the lost lens. When she reached the top, a friend examined her clothing for the lens, but it wasn't there. She felt calm now, but wished she could see the mountain range clearly. She remembered the Bible verse, quotes, "The eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth." Lord, she prayed, you can see these mountains and every stone and leaf. You know where my contact lens is. Please help me. Later, when they'd hiked back to the bottom, they met other climbers also on their way down. Hey, anybody lost a contact lens? Strangely enough, but the climber said he saw an ant carrying it across the rock face. Brenda told her father, a cartoonist, about the ant, the contact lens, and the prayer. He drew a cartoon of an ant carrying the contact lens. The caption read, "God, I don't know why you want me to carry this thing. I can't eat it, and it's awfully heavy. But if you want me to do it, I'll carry it for you." And perhaps we too should pray, "Lord, I don't know why you want me to carry my heavy load. I see no good in it, and it's awfully heavy. But if you want me to carry it, I guess I will."
Welcome back. Here we go to look at an interesting story, a real story. Brenda had climbed almost halfway up a tremendously tall granite cliff. Granite 是一种石头. A cliff is 山崖 or 悬崖. So, I mean, it's usually a flat piece of rock, sometimes many feet tall. She had climbed up halfway, 已经爬了一半, okay, of a tall granite cliff. She stood on a ledge. What is a ledge? A ledge 是一个这个凸出来的一个地方, 一个凸出来的一个地方. So she was able to stand on that. Obviously, even when you're up this high, you still have your ropes. 你还是有绳子, okay? I mean, you have to have the ropes. But now she is standing on the ledge. 她站在这个凸出来的地方。And what was she doing? It says here, she stood on the ledge taking a breather. Okay, we know what breathe is. Breathing is 呼吸, breathing. So if I say to take a breather means I am 休息一下, I'm taking a rest and taking a breather. Okay, taking a rest. 休息一下. Going on. This was her first rock climb. Okay, this is the first time that she had climbed on the rocks. Okay, okay, 这个攀岩, okay, 攀岩 is to or to rock climb, to climb up a rock. It's different than climbing up a mountain. When you climb up a mountain, some of it's very difficult, some of it is very easy, but often there are trails. But going up a cliff, 这个山崖, it is not easy. And this was her first time. But as she rested, 当她休息的时候, as she rested, the safety rope, 安全绳子, snapped against her eye. To snap 是打她的眼睛啊，打她的眼睛。So what happened to that? And it knocked the contact lens out of her eye. 把她的隐形眼镜打落出来。So now, I can tell you, I know something about this. I wear glasses. But there was a period of time, 有一段时间, my wife, 我的妻子, she had contact lenses, 隐形眼镜. And sometimes when her children were quite rowdy, my sons were pushing, sometimes they would hit her eye, and suddenly, what would happen? She'd, stop! Stop! My contact popped out. Okay, so very common. In this case, the rope snapped against her eye. It knocked her contact lens out. Now, where is she? Think of the situation. She is on a ledge. A ledge, 凸出来的地方，不见得是很宽的. So, it's not necessarily very wide. So maybe the contact lens went whew, over the edge. And then in that case, it's gone. Going on. No, she thought, no. I'm on a rock ledge. Okay, rock ledge, 凸出来的一个地方, hundreds of feet from the bottom, 几百英尺离那个山脚这个山底几百英尺高. So she's already up there and at least that far to the top. 还是一样的距离到山顶, okay, or up to the very top of the cliff. So she's only halfway, hundreds of feet down, hundreds of feet up, and here she lost her contact. Going on. She scanned the rock ledge but couldn't find it. Hoping against hope, okay, she's hoping that she can find it on the rock ledge. And of course, you have to be careful. You can't just put your feet down anywhere. You have to just look very carefully. Going on. Panic rose in her throat. Panic. What is panic? Panic is 惊慌. Okay, 惊慌. She is panicking, fearful in her throat. Sometimes, did you know, have you ever experienced this? That when you get panicky or when you get fearful or upset, that your throat becomes tight and it just becomes very, very tight. Sometimes not so easy even to speak. She prayed, 她祷告, for calm and that God would lead her to the lost lands. So she prayed for two things. Okay, she prayed that God would make her 安静下来 or 平静, okay, for calm, 平静, and that God would lead her to the lost lands. So that God would help her find the lost lens. What lens? The contact lens. 她的隐形眼镜. Okay, going on. When she reached the top, a friend examined her clothing, because sometimes it's true. Sometimes when your contact lens pops out, it gets stuck on your clothes, 就卡在你的衣服上. So when they got to the top, 她爬到底, a friend looked in her clothes to see, well, maybe it's caught in her clothes. He looked for the lens in her clothes, but it wasn't there. Okay, so they couldn't find it. Not there. Going on. She felt calm now, but wished she could see the mountain range clearly. Now, remember, if it's just one popped out, she still has another. Now, if it was me, I only have one really good eye anyway, so the other one, not so good. Whatever the case is, at least now, 至少她现在平静了. But she wished 她的希望 and that she could see the mountain range clearly. You know, a mountain range is 山脉. A mountain is一座山. But a mountain range is many mountains all in a row. So she wished she could see the mountain range. It must have been very pretty. She could see it some because she had one contact still. Go ahead. She remembered a Bible verse. So she's remembering something. She must have been a Christian because she remembered a verse from the Bible, and this is what the verse said. And I have to read it, sorry. It says, 耶和华的眼睛遍察全地. In other words, the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole world. In other words, God sees everything. Now, this is her thinking. If God sees everything, and so in her mind she's thinking, if God sees everything, then He knows where my contact lens is. Right? He sees people and animals and fallen contact lenses. Going on. So she prayed. Second prayer. Lord, she prayed. Already she's calmed, right? So God has answered one prayer. You can see these mountains. Of course, He med the mountains. You can see the mountains. You can see every stone, 每一块石头. You can see all of this. And every leaf. 树上的每一个叶子，这个花朵的每一个叶子. You can see all of that. You know where my contact is. You know where my contact is. Please help me. You can see it all. You can see the mountains. You can see the stones. You can see everything. You can see my contact. Please help me find my contact. Now, if it were me, I'd give up. I mean, a mountain's a big place. Sometimes when my wife lost the contact and everybody was in a very small area, and still it took a long time to find that little tiny piece of plastic. And so she said, God, you can see it all. Help me find it. Going on. Later, when they'd hiked back to the bottom, they met other climbers on their way down. When they'd hiked back to the bottom, okay, so they have hiked down the hill, back down to the Sanjiao. They met other climbers. 他们说碰到一些其他的这个登山者 climbers climb 登山者 okay on their way down 他们也是同一个时间下去 Go ahead. Hey, anybody lose a contact lens? Wow, this is enough to surprise you and scare you. Hey, anybody lose a contact lens? 有没有人丢去他的隐形眼镜 Wow, man, I mean, if you can't find it yourself, how can somebody else find it? Going on. Strangely enough, but the climber said he saw an ant carrying it across the rock face. Okay? Strangely enough, 奇怪的是 the climber said he saw an ant, 有一只蚂蚁 carrying it across the rock face. Okay? 他在这个岩石这个穿过 So here he is, and he's carrying it across the rock face. Now, it may not have been straight up, but it was still a cliff. And here's the ant, and he's carrying the contact lens. Of course, the contact lens is not very big. You know, it's 隐形眼镜 is very, very small, but still, it's much bigger than an ant, right? Okay. So he said, I saw this ant carrying it 穿过这个岩石. Go ahead. Brenda told her father, okay, and her father was a cartoonist. So this is after she's gone home, of course. After she's gone home, she told her father about this experience. And he's a cartoonist, 漫画 cartoon. Okay, 加一个 ist. 就是漫画家 about the ant. So he told him about the ant who found her contact, and the ant, the contact lens, and the prayer. So she told him, her father, 3 things. the ant, the contact lens that had fallen, and her prayer, 她的祈祷. He drew a cartoon, which you can see. Well, many people have put it on the web, so I don't know which is the right one. But anyway, you can go, 你可以上互联网可以看看. You say the ant and the contact lens, and you'll see many pictures. He drew a cartoon, it's a 漫画 of an ant carrying, okay, he is carrying this contact lens. 他是背着这个隐形眼镜，这个蚂蚁。Go ahead. The caption read, and maybe I can get this so I can explain it. The caption, 这个标题 underneath cartoon, you usually have a caption, usually just a few words that are very interesting. So underneath this cartoon, there was a caption, 标题, and this is what the caption said. God, so this is the ant. 蚂蚁是跟神讲话. I don't know why you want me to carry this thing. 我不知道你为什么要我背着这个隐形眼镜. Why? I have no idea under the sun. But one thing is for sure, I can't eat it. 我没有办法吃它. See, it's not, it's for sure it's plastic. And it's awfully heavy. 也是相当重. Going on. But if you want me to do it, I'll carry it for you. But if you want me to carry it, I'll do it for you. I don't know why I'm doing this. I can't eat it, and it's heavy, but if you want me to do it, I'll do it for you. Going on. And I finished this lesson by we should pray, or we should think, or think and pray. If you do pray, if you know that there's a God, or you think there's a God, and sometimes you don't know why things are happening that are happening. In other words, 不晓得为什么这个有这么大的困难，这个你所带的担子很重. Okay? So maybe there are some times when we can pray and say the same thing as the ant, only a little bit different, and it should go something like this. Going on. Lord, I don't know why you want me to carry my heavy load. 我现在带的担子好重. Why do you want me to do this? I don't understand. 为什么你要我带这么重的一个担子? I see no good in it. 毫无意义的. Okay? I see no good in it. 毫无意义的. I don't see any value in it. And it's awfully heavy. 也是相当重. But if you want me to carry it, I will. But if you want me to carry it. I will do it for you. Okay, so that's the story about the ant and the contact lens. I tell you again that if you go onto a search engine and you type in the ant and the contact lens, if you type in images, you'll see the actual pictures, many pictures. So this is a real story of a real person. And you can read about this too. Maybe the details are a little bit different, but it's very interesting, and probably, in my estimation, the value of this story is we don't know why the things that happen to us really happen. 我们不知道为什么我们所发生的事情或我们所带的担子 why the things that happen to us or the heavy loads that we carry, we don't know anything about it, but we do, at least I, because I believe that there is a God, I believe that God allows it. But I also believe very strongly that if God allows it, 如果他是让我这样带, that He will give me the strength, 他会加给我力量应付. So, there you have it, the ant and the contact lens. Now, you probably have never lost a contact lens, but you can write to me, the old principal at gmail.com. Or you can go to our website. Our website, 我们的网站是 www.theoldprinciple.org. Had a great time spending with you in this session, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bring a friend. Until then, bye-bye for now.